Check on the sides then, and Meath, as expected, are unchanged. You can hardly improve on a team performance that saw Kerry, the defending champions, literally whipped at the semi-final stage by 15 points. So it's Darren Fay again at full-back, Nigel Nestor or Hank Traynor to fill the centre-half spot. Take your pick where that's concerned. Nigel Crawford and John McDermott are at midfield. And then as we go into the forwards, Trevor Giles, of course, picked at number 11, could move left. And the inside line includes Ollie Murphy, Graham Geraghty and Ray McGee. The major changes from 2 years ago are most definitely in their half-back line. Colin Coyle has joined up with Sean Boylan here, who is 19 years in the job as Meath manager. Today is his 79th championship match in charge. 53 of those have been victories, and he's led Meath to 4 All-Irelands and 8 Leinster titles. Quite a record. Galway have made just one change in personnel following their exciting win over Derry. No movement in personnel among the backs, however. Gary Fahy captains the side from number 3. Tomas Mannion is outside him, flanked by Declan Meehan and Sean O'Dwyer. Kevin Walsh and Michael Donlan in midfield. But up front, Paul Clancy starts today alongside Joe Fallon, and it's the usual suspects in the key positions, and they are Derek Savage and Pádraig Joyce. A lot of potential there. The 112th All-Ireland football final. Michael Collins taking charge of this. He was in charge of the Derry versus Galway All-Ireland semi-final as well, and a number of other high-profile games. Joe Fallon and Joe Bergen plus Paul Clancy switching around the place. Who will it be? The biggest moment of the year in Gaelic football. Touchdown by Kevin Walsh to Tomas Mannion of Galway. Back to Michael Donlan. Ooh, dangerous moments in the Meath defence early on. Darren Fay coping well. Cormac Sullivan. Out towards Evan Kelly. Real danger man. Pacey performer. Sean O'Dwyer chasing after him. Nicely inside here towards Ollie Murphy. And there's the first foul by Gary Fahy there, as Graham Geraghty was making his way through, injuring his left shoulder. A ticking for Gary Fahy, free to Meath. Really explosive start.
Yes, indeed, Jaron. On the other side of the field, I know there's a couple of changes in the marking systems. First of all, I think at full forward is Derek Savage.
That's kicked over there. Ray McGee, first point of the match. It's a very first attack and a very productive opening.
Yes, just going back, Ray McGee is at the far side of the field. Derek Savage is playing full forward. Mark O'Reilly's marking him. For Joyce is in the corner, and Darren Fay has gone out on him, and Ollie Murphy has taken up Tommy Joyce, presumably to stay with him if he goes rowing.
Alan Kane towards Michael Donlan. It's broken away from him, however. Another attack set up by Evan Kelly. McGee coming forward. Murphy. Intended for Kelly, has it. Closed down, stolen away, and it's Richie Fahy who is fouled, and it's a free out to Galway. Oh, the early pressure over is coming in on that Galway goal. Alan Kane here, something of a surprise package. You replace Pádraig Lally, 6'5" tall, a huge goalkeeper. McDermott getting it down. They win it back. Crawford. He's put it wide.
There's just one tactic that is evident so far. John McDermott has broken every ball in the middle of the field that has come out to him. He was trying to, in a sense, spoil Kevin Walsh from catching it.
Nigel Crawford there in midfield alongside John McDermott. It's McDermott on Kevin Walsh, by the way. So Meath with a slight and early advantage. Evan Kelly breaking it this time. Portray McGee was going down for it. Couldn't hold on to it. That's Paul Clancy. He's a really hard-working player. Well, it should be borne in mind, people will talk about Kearns being off the team, but Clancy was very much a first-choice player. Injury curtailed a lot of his career. Here's Nigel Nestor. Good ball inside towards Ollie Murphy. Harassed. Richie Fahey's after him. Not forced into the error, however. It's Richie Keeley instead, and the ball touched on the ground, and it's a free out to Galway, who have yet to really launch their first attack.
Yes, indeed, Meath seem to have started much more brightly than Galway. Seem a bit nervous.
Kieran Fitzgerald back to Gary Fahey. This is his brother Richie. Now Declan Meehan. Several players trying to put in a telling challenge, and in the end Evan Kelly has the free kick given against him. Really dragging back his opponent. Sun in the eyes of the Galway backs. You can see Michael Donlan trying to shade the sunlight from his eyes. This is easily swept up here by Donald Curtis. Curtis has gone down. Late foul. The foul is committed by Paul Clancy. Number noted. So free to the Royals. Into Richie Keeley. He's lost it. Michael Donlan. Stylishly kicking it ahead as far as it possibly can go. Oh, it's missed. And here's a chance for Paul Joyce. Oh, the goalkeeper missed it completely as it came out. It's going to be a 45. Derek Savage was coming onto it. And just for a moment you felt Galway have to score.
Yes, that's a great opportunity as the ball comes in here. Porrick Joyce, the goalkeeper, Cormac O'Sullivan, just kicks it. Derek Savage, Porrick, I think, actually got the kick to it. But that's a good bit of last-ditch defending on the goal line, and 45 results from it. But Galway were very unlucky. He did very well to cover off that time in the person of Donald Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis was back there, got the final intervention. It's a 45. Michael Donlan to strike this from the Dunmore McHale-Strap. And he has kicked it, and he has kicked it over the bar. That's a good start by Michael Donlan. So, the match level. Early stages. Really, that should have been a goal.
Oh yeah, it was a great opportunity altogether. With a little bit of a hesitancy on the part of Cormac Sullivan, but I must say that you've got to credit the defending work of Donald Curtis.
Richie Keeley breaking it down. Nigel Crawford coming onto it. Trying to get away from the attentions of Michael Donlan. Back here to Nigel Nestor. Inevitably there's a support player. This time it's Cormac Murphy. He takes too many steps. Free kick to the tribesmen. Inside by Tommy Joyce. Breaks down here to Darren Fay. He's taken up a central defensive position once again. Kicked by Curtis, but only straight at Joe Bergen. Joe, whose Uncle Jack from Tipperary, of course, was one of the selectors for Tip 2 weeks ago in the hurling final. Nicely in here to Graham Geraghty. Getting there ahead of Gary Fahey. Held up beautifully, John McDermott. And he has put it over the bar. The umpire's took a little while over that one. But Meath have gone back in front again. And they lead by 2 points to 1.
That's a great bit of off-the-ball movement, actually, from John McDermott that time. And Graham Geraghty spotted him very well. Time was run late. He screwed the ball over beautifully with his right foot. Great score from John McDermott.
He's doing well in the scoring stakes of late. That's 2 goals and 7 points now in championship football for him. Kieran Fitzgerald starting it all again. Ja Fallon. Haven't heard much of Ja so far, or seen much of him. Ball picked off the ground. Free kick to Meath. Big John McDermott. Towards Graham Geraghty. Cut out by Joe Bergen, but Geraghty sticking to the task well. Always a menacing figure. Played back towards Trevor Giles. It's a great ball across, but didn't quite have the distance. Cut out by Declan Meehan. Meath player down injured, seems to be Graham Geraghty. Temporarily, Meath are down to 14. Kevin Walsh ballooning it forward. Great catch. Fay once again, superb. Mark O'Reilly trying to get that ball away from danger. Porrick Joyce winning it back. Here's Ja Fallon. On the left boot, he puts it beautifully over the bar. Ja at his very best. Enthusiastic Galway followers have seen their side draw level once again.
Indeed, last year the Galway followers bemoaned the fact that Ja wasn't there when they played Kerry, but that's a confidence-boosting score from him. Again, lovely way he gets onto the left foot and puts it delightfully over the bar from about 45 yards.
He didn't look at his sharpest in the semi-final. He was taken off in that match, and there were fears that he might not make the starting 15. He has. He started well. Galway get it back. Declan Meehan. Chasing after him is Richie Keeley. Being forced in towards the corner. Has support. Savage is there. Comes back in towards Porrick Joyce. High challenge. Free in. Foul by Darren Fay. Galway can go in front here. A very bright opening.
Great opening, Jaron. I must say the Meath tackling is outstanding in the backline, but it needs to be disciplined as well as crisp, because if they're going to give away frees like that, Porrick Joyce has the quality to actually punish them.
I suspect, though, that in open play, Galway need a more authoritative performance from Porrick Joyce up front.
Yes, but he's not doing too badly yet, although Darren Fay has fielded one great ball over his head.
Can Galway take the lead? Oh, he's missed it. Very, very poor kick indeed. That's a bad miss.
Yes, that was a bad miss from Porrick, and most untypical. But just going further out the field at the moment, it's noticeable that Joe Bergen has gone into a midfield position. They seem to be attempting to crowd out the middle of the park as much as possible. And in fact, he's picking up Nigel Nestor at different times, whereas Gerald Fallon is kind of trying to drift in more into the forward line.
In fact, he's doing a man marking job on Nestor. Here's Shuttle, the player. Nestor's after him. Several players after him. Back towards Savage. Tight angle. Inside towards Porrick Joyce. Can he turn? Plays it back well. And it's kicked over by Joe Bergen. Point for Galway. Well, they may have missed a free a little while ago, but they've taken the lead for the first time.
That's a beautiful piece of a combined play by the Galway forward line. Savage eventually been finished off by Bergen. Wonderful piece of football. And again, he dropped a couple of balls there that gives confidence. Go. Jai gives the ball across here. Shawno coming forward as which he normally does. Lets the ball back, and eventually Derek Savage puts it to Bergen, who puts it over.
Lovely combined play. The Galway forwards in full flight. That's Paul Clancy going down there. Clancy could be a very important figure from kickouts as well. He's a tall man. Oh. Nigel Nestor, I think, will be told to go back a little bit more. Free will be taken again. Clancy leaving it there for Porrick Joyce. Ticking for Hank Traynor following that last indiscretion. There's his angle. Picked the last one from the hands, of course. Let's see if he's better luck this time. It's dropping short. Meath are strong in there. Cormac Murphy getting it out as far as Richie Keeley. Line ball to Galway. Players getting absolutely nothing lightly in these early tense minutes. Joyce. Nicely across there towards his brother Tommy. And Tommy has had a pretty decent scoring ratio this year. He's got 11 points in all, but that was not one of his better kicks.
Yes, they've been a little wasteful. The ball has been up there now for the last couple of minutes, and they've had a couple of opportunities that they might have finished. But those type of misses can certainly mount up and be very costly at the end.
Sean Boylan there, living on his nerves as ever. Of course, his fellow selectors are Colin Coyle and Damon O'Brien. Sullivan belting it towards Nigel Nestor, but it is Galway who managed to win the kick-out. Paul Clancy pursued over there by Hank Traynor. Hank, one of these great utility players, along with Donald Curtis and so many others. John McDermott and Kevin Walsh. Walsh just getting a touch to it. Richie Keeley trying to win it there against the other number 12, Joe Bergen. McDermott firing it down towards Ollie Murphy, holding on to it well. Murphy so dangerous, and that is one of the reasons why he's put it over the bar. Ollie Murphy's first point of the day, and the teams are level for the third time. It's turning out to be a cracking final.
Yes, and that's a typical Ollie Murphy point. Again, the back thought he had everything done right. Ollie just held his run for a moment. Great spring off his feet and screwed the ball over with his left foot. Lovely score from him.
Ollie's marker, by the way, this afternoon is Richie Fahy. It's an onerous task. Sean O'Dwyer towards Michael Donlan. Fed nicely forward. Kevin Walsh going down under the weight of the challenge was Paul Clancy, free to Galway. Lots of movement just ahead there, but Michael Donlan opting to just take it a little bit easier. It is a very warm afternoon. Oh, it's gone well away to the right. Complete mishit. Michael Donlan explaining it all away. But they are very dependent up front, Galway, on Derek Savage and Porrick Joyce. As usual, Tommy Joyce playing quite a deep role. Clancy's under this one. But Meath so good at breaking ball down. But it's won back by Galway. And here's Declan Meehan. A real tear-away player. Inside towards Porrick Joyce. Bending his back to try and pick it up was John McDermott. Richie Keeley playing it out to Nigel Nestor. A chance to build once again here. Donald Curtis. Good provision of that ball inside to Ollie Murphy once more. Taking on Richie Fahy. Back towards Ray McGee. Nicely into Nigel Nestor. Has played in the forwards. Looking just to free himself from the attentions of three Galway backs. In the end, they outnumber him, and it's Richie Fahy who wins it back. Tomas Mannion now. Dangerous challenge. He's fouled, and it's a free out. Now Nigel Nestor being spoken to by the referee, and let's see what action he's going to take. It's going to be a card. It's yellow. The first yellow card of the match.
Yes, but I don't think there was any real malice in that. I think he tried to go for the ball, but caught Tomas Mannion as he was doing so. But again, it was our first booking of the game. But the Galway defending there was very good, and there was also a lack of support there for Ollie Murphy and for Nigel Nestor when they had the ball from players coming in from the outside.
Alan Kane's kick reaches the sideline. Line ball to Meath. John McDermott. Inside to Graham Garrity. Always coming out looking for it, drawing the foul on this occasion. Gary Fahy, the one who commits the indiscretion, and it's going to be a free in.
One other significant switch we should talk about. Trevor Giles actually has gone out to the wing and has now been marked by Declan Meehan.
Ray McGee. Nigel Crawford kicking. And he has put it over the bar. First point in the game for the very tall, angular midfield player. So both midfielders, now John McDermott and Crawford, have scored.
Lovely bit of initiative that time by Nigel Crawford, and poor concentration actually by the Galway midfield not to have anticipated that run, but a very good finish.
Both sides essentially playing with two men in their inside forward line. So there's a lot of space, but it's a very congested midfield. John McDermott, a tower of strength. Great catch. Good work by Richie Fahey. Kieran Fitzgerald. They feed it out as far as Joe Bergen. Tommy Joyce. Derek Savage, one of the options up front. Instead, it's taken down very well indeed by Mark O'Reilly, and Marcus fouled as he was getting the ball away. And that's going to be a free to Meath. It was Derek Savage who'd followed him all the way down. Trevor Giles kicking this one in. Great kick. Intended for Ollie Murphy. Won instead, however, by Richie Fahey. Kevin Walsh. Sean Old, the player. Moving it out here towards Declan Meehan. Into Jal Fallon. Great diagonal ball across. And that is Kieran Fitzgerald, who's kept on motoring up there. He's dragged down by Ray McGee. It's that kind of mobile, fluid game. You can expect the number 2 to pop up in the number 15 position.
Well, I think years ago the Dutch invented a thing called total football. But this time, don't be surprised to see corner forwards up in the forward line. That was a wonderful diagonal pass from Jarlath Fallon. Great vision, excellent delivery.
Certainly is a day for the Shades. Michael Donlan, a point from a 45 already in this match. Here we are, nearly 20 minutes gone. And they're waving it wide. The Meath players encouraging the umpire. He's missed it. It remains at 4 points to 3 in favour of Meath. This, the Bank of Ireland All-Ireland football final. John O'Mahony is such an astute manager. Two very crafty campaigners in opposition today. Two of the great managers of modern times. Evan Kelly. Good solo burst here. Is there support? Does he require it? Stopped by Alan Kane. Again, getting it out quickly to Declan Meehan. It's attack and counter-attack. Swift movements up and down the field. And this time Derek Savage. Point chance here. He has inexplicably missed it. That's 5 wides now by Galway. And that was one of their best chances.
Yeah, but that's 5 wides. 4 of those wides, any one of them should have been points, and they'll rue those later on. Can't miss those in a game of this consequence, or indeed in any game. They've been wonderful opportunities.
Hard to believe. Trevor Giles towards Ray McGee, being marked by Kieran Fitzgerald. In fact, not just being marked by Kieran Fitzgerald, he was up on his back. Full quickly taken towards Ollie Murphy, expecting the side-to-side charge. It came from Richie Fahey, holding it up for Graham Geraghty. Whoops, little stumble here. That was enough to allow Fahey in. Ball touched on the ground by Graham Geraghty, the referee has decided, and it's a free out to Galway. Frantic.
Yeah, Richie Fahey showing great resolve in his contest on Ollie Murphy. Murphy is getting to the ball, but Fahey for the most part is staying between him and the goals, and he's performed very well so far.
Gary Fahey's kick is a very wayward one, and the pressure will be right back in their faces. Mistakes been made. John Boylan back out there to offer some words of advice. Trevor Giles. Inside towards Graham Geraghty, runs on to Murphy, and it's taken by Gary Fahey once again. Drawn down there by Graham Geraghty. Free to Galway. It's gone a bit ragged. Jar Fallon coming to take this one. Great catch. Beautifully taking it away from Donald Curtis. Jar at his stylish best. But he's put this one into the goalkeeper's hands. It's back out with McDermott once again. Loads of chances. untypical errors.
Untypical errors from both sides, and indeed we thought after the first 10 minutes or so the game would settle down, but in fact it has got quite ragged over the last 5 or 10 minutes, so to speak. And both sides are making errors, kicking the ball needlessly over the end line and kicking poor wides.
Here we are, 23 minutes into the match. Galway's last score was after 11 minutes. They've had 4 wides ever since. They have possession. Porrick Joyce. Ooh. And he's kicked another bad wide. I know the angle was tight, but there were options. There were players inside. Frustrating. At the end of the day, the fans just want to see their team win. They don't care how. Porrick Joyce now, no score from 3 shots at the target. Nigel Crawford didn't quite get much of a touch on that. It was Evan Kelly instead, straight at Richie Fahy. He's playing well. Kevin Walsh. Tommy Joyce. Beyond Paul Clancy this time. It's Porrick Joyce who comes out for it. Clancy's gone ahead, but tracking him the whole time was Hank Traynor. Tomas Mannion. Oh! 2 Meath men were coming in at him there. Richie Keeley was one, Trevor Giles was the other, numbers 11 and 12. And it's going to result in a Galway free kick. So still 4-3.
Yeah, one of the things we wondered about early on, how well would the Meath defence do in the Galway attack? Galway attack is getting loads of possession in there, but they're not converting it.
Here's Paul Clancy now, taking on Hank Traynor, showing how it should be done. Great kick. Paul Clancy's first. He's a quality footballer. And the teams are level once again. It's the 4th time they've been level. 4-4. This was wonderful skill here by Clancy. Had strength, had resolve, and had accuracy.
And again, that's their first score, Gerard, since the 15th minute, I think.
Sullivan's deep kick. One in there by Galway once again. But scrappy play, and it's going to be a free downfield for Meath, or picked off the ground. And for not withdrawing fast enough, referee Michael Collins has penalised Galway a further 13 metres. Crawford inside for Trevor Giles, wants the return. Has support. Giles available. Nigel Nestor inside towards Richie Keeley. Great block down. That's excellent work in there. Declan Meehan, great skill. Fahy to Michael Donlan. They build from the back. Tomas Mannion, very happy and settled down now in the number 6 shirt. Darren Fay, accomplished full back play by him. And the ball again handled on the ground, and it's a free kick to Galway this time. Porrick Joyce wanted to take it quickly. Referee having to step in here to have words with a couple of players. Jar Fallon being isolated by the Cork official, tussling there with John McDermott, and it's a yellow card for Jar Fallon. So 2 yellow cards in the match. Nigel Nestor of Meath, Jar Fallon of Galway, and the referee says there was guilt on the part of both players, so he's throwing it in. But we just spotted 1 yellow card.
Yes, it was just Jar was the only one booked in that case, and the free this time is because Evan Kelly came in. The throw was only supposed to be between 2 men, but Evan Kelly came in as the extra man, caught the ball, therefore it's a free against Meath.
Well, it was a free to Galway, I think, initially anyway. Then when the indiscretion happened, the referee decided to throw. Back to Michael Donlan. Pursued by Cormac Murphy, way out from his cornerback position. Nigel Crawford lobbing it ahead to Graham Geraghty. Breathing down his neck is Gary Fahy. And again, the referee is going to throw this one in. It's a frantic contest. 4-4. Seven, 8 minutes to go to half-time. Meath still pressurising. Ray McGee. Oh, it's a terrible kick. Straight to Michael Donlan. Released to Tommy Joyce. Back to Donlan it comes once more. Forward for Joe Fallon. Attracting plenty of attention. He's fouled there by Donald Curtis. Donald is the head greenkeeper in Navan Golf Course. Belted ahead here to Joe Bergen. 1 point in the match so far. This is, well, it was supposed to be cut out, but Galway have it again. And it's Paul Clancy this time, dropping it well short. Cormac Sullivan. Started in a welter of excitement. Lots of good scores. That's a bad foul by Porrick Joyce. It was a head-high challenge. Frustration is one thing, but he knows he can't do that. And Joyce gets himself a yellow card. Match has taken something of a bumpy ride. This is it again here now. O'Reilly was coming out with it. That was the challenge. Down he went. Porrick Joyce, the guilty party.
But credit him, he got up immediately.
Nigel Crawford, his jersey is pulled back by Michael Donlan. He's going to get his name ticked. One more incident like that and he'll be getting a card. Ollie Murphy let it bounce off his legs. I think he expected the back, who was Richie Fahy, to cut it out, and he failed to do so. And it's frustrating for the manager.
Yeah, the game has been somewhat disappointing up to now. Here you've two. Yes, a very good ball in this time from Richie Keeley. Great block though by Declan Meehan. But just saying, both teams are bristling with talent, but yet they're finding it very hard to get the best out of each other and get the best out of themselves. And there's far too many unforced errors for this level of football.
So much pressure. Cormac Murphy is following Tommy Joyce everywhere and anywhere. And the deeper Tommy plays, I think the happier Cormac is, because he's played centre-half back in the past, and he's quite comfortable in that particular role. Michael Donlan has now gone on to the 40, and Joe Bergen has been switched to midfield. This is Bergen. Galway retain possession. Michael Donlan fouled. It may be scrappy, but every time you get a chance like this one here to engineer a scoring opportunity, you've got to try and take it. Porrick Joyce turning into a challenge. Waiting for Bergen. Should be a point here. He's put it over the bar. Joe Bergen second. They had to graft and they had to work for that, but there was good support play by Joe Bergen. He's had 2 shots at the target. He scored twice, and Galway are leading in this match in front of an attendance of over 70,000.
Yeah, good pass that time from Porrick Joyce, and Joe Bergen saw the gap opening up in front of him and had the confidence to go on and finish emphatically.
Bergen again jumping here with Nigel Crawford. Tomas Mannion's coming to support, getting away from Ray McGee. Mannion, such a quality footballer. Missed most of last season. He's fouled, taken down, free in. Great opportunity for the Galway to get themselves another point, and it's all down to the genius of Tomas Mannion and his sheer willingness to take it forward at every opportunity. And Porrick Joyce has now got the responsibility, about 30 metres out. He should get this one. This to put 2 points between the teams. He's got it absolutely right. It's his first point of the match, and it's now Galway 6, Meath 4. John O'Mahony, I'm sure, quietly pleased alongside Pete Warren and Stephen Joyce over there. Pete on the right. Selectors, when they last won the title, are they to do it again? Early stages. We've got about 3 minutes or thereabouts to half-time, and there'll be 1 extra minute to be played. Evan Kelly, second time of asking, feeding it inside towards Nigel Crawford, looking for space. Galway funneling back men. Ray McGee kicking, and Ray McGee has driven it high and over the bar. A fine point by the number 15 from Kilmainham Wood. He's got 2, and it's 6-5 now. There will be very little between them going in at half-time, as we expected.
Yes, in the 16 minutes, I think, since Meath last scored, I mean, they've gone through a period there where they're not getting the ball around the middle of the park, where they're making mistakes when they have the ball, and certainly Galway will be disappointed that they're not more ahead at half-time.
Kane's kick towards the middle of the field. Kevin Walsh winning well. Good to see a fit Kevin Walsh back in the Galway team. Huge kick inside, should be the goalkeepers. Sullivan out to Mark O'Reilly. Into space towards John McDermott. Fed back well. Trainer. Quick look around here by Richie Keeley. McGee taking up a good position. DeClaire is after him. It's still Ray McGee. Down on the 20-metre line. The ball has been handled on the ground by McGee, and it's going to be a free to Galway. It was a great angle kick, and for a moment I thought he was going to be in to get what would have been his 3rd point of this final.
I think part of Meath's problem, they may have come into this game with an attitude, you know, where they thought Galway were going to simply roll over, but they've found that the Galway defence, and in fact the entire Galway game, has been very, very determined, and they're maybe just on the back foot at the moment.
Donald, great ball ahead to Bora Joyce, inside Fay. Fay getting back goal side. Joyce kicking, and Joyce has put it wide. Only 1 point so far in the match for Porrick Joyce, that coming from a free. Galway need more from it. Well, I think any team prepared by John O'Mahony coming into this final, Meath would have been well aware what to expect. A really tough fight. Galway 6 scores out of 16 chances so far. Meath with 5 scores out of just 7. It's an amazing statistic. Galway creating twice as many opportunities. But they're still only a point up. No breeze around. Here's Graham Geraghty, ready to take on Gary Fahy, Galway's captain. In along the end line. Dragged down, free from 30 metres in. And Gary Fahy will be spoken to by the referee. He's already been ticked, so this should be a yellow card. Referee has already noted his number, and it's yellow. That is now a total of 4 yellow cards, 3 for Galway, 1 for Meath. It's a very straightforward kick for Trevor Giles, the captain from Screen, the 5th Meath man to captain a team in All-Ireland from this particular club. This to tie it up. It's 6-6. That's his first. Time almost up at the end of the first half, and the referee has blown his whistle. That's the final piece of action. Meath have drawn level. It started with an explosion of scores earlier on, some very, very good ones. Then the game went through a very rocky period. Ray McGee here has got 2 points for Meath, but it's all there for the winning Joe Bergen, who's made a fine contribution. 2 good scores, 1 explosive burst through midway through the first half to get in for point number 2. But nothing to choose between the teams on the scoreboard, but Galway have been the more productive. Referee Michael Collins ready to restart. Don't see any changes on either team. Joe Bergen's in midfield alongside Kevin Walsh. Michael Donald's on the 40. So where they go once again. John McDermott challenged high this time by Bergen. No real attempt to put in a decent tackle. But here comes Graham Geraghty, angling himself straight at Alan Kane. Something of a surprise choice in the Galway team this season. Declan Meehan. Got to skip away from the attentions over there of Richie Keeley. Donald Curtis breaking it down. Ja Fallon trying to keep possession. It's with Bergen. That's a decent ball. In for Porrick Joyce, getting inside Darren Fay. Here's a goal chance, and he has put it over the bar. puts his hands to his head straight away because he knows it should have been under and not over. But Galway lead once more. That was a great goal chance. It was a wonderfully perceptive pass through the centre, in over the head of Darren Fay, onto Porrick Joyce. Fay just got to knock onto it, as it were. He was going for a goal, no question in my mind.
Great opportunity, and as I say, Darren Fay was completely caught out there. Did great to recover and get back at Porrick Joyce, and Porrick will know he should have put that in the net.
So 7-6. Galway taking the lead. First decent attack of the second half. Counter-attacking now is Ray McGee towards Trevor Giles, gets it back himself, McGee. They try to work it towards Ollie Murphy, 45 metres out from goal. Pressurised, lots of pressure, in fact too much pressure, and he's kicked it wide. Kevin Walsh, the one who was doing a lot of the bidding, and I think it's Kevin Walsh who's down injured at this stage, being attended to there by Jarlath Dagnan, the team doctor. Well, now he's had so many injuries down the years. It was great to see him back in full health and excellent fitness, but this has happened very early now, as you can see in the second half.
Yeah, well, if there is a silver lining, it's not his leg, which is causing so much problem between groin and calf injuries. And it seems to be maybe a facial belt that he got, so he may be going off for maybe blood treatment.
He wants to stay put, but the referee, I think, is telling him off you go for treatment quickly. They can bring in a fresh man, and I think it's going to be Sean O'Donnell, the obvious and natural replacement into midfield. Sean was telling me his sister Suzanne, I think, is watching this in the States. So he's in. It's a first substitution for the blood injury. Evan Kelly for Meath. So pacey, so direct, so accurate. It's Kelly's first point. Hasn't had too many opportunities. Well, he's had 2 shots at the target. He scores with this one and he makes it 7 points apiece. Fascinating. Listen to the crowd now, getting right behind their favourite team. We've already had a draw here, of course, in the minor match between Dublin and Tyrone. Level here now. A replay would be next Sunday. Porrick Joyce, who had that golden opportunity. It's kicked away out of danger by Mark O'Reilly. Flicked back in here. Won once again by Tomas Mannion. Fouled by Ray McGee. It'll be a free to Galway. And there's Kevin Walsh, looks to be in some considerable distress, but they'll want to try and get him back into the action as quick as possible. Tommy Joyce trying to pick out his brother Porrick. Has Jar Fallon ahead of him. Savage is waiting inside, but that's far too near Cormac Sullivan. Sun in his eyes for the second half. Here's Richie Keeley. Nicely ahead, Trevor Giles playing it back to Keeley once more. Running straight into Tomas Mannion, played back to Trevor Giles. Clever ball ahead to Evan Kelly. Racing after him is Sean the player. The man from Onkaharurua is helped out there. They get it forward, but only as far as John McDermott. The towering, imposing figure in midfield for Meath. Fisted back down this time by Gary Fahy. Declan Meehan. Paul Clancy can't hold it. Graham Geraghty's about, but it's gone out over the sideline. And a sideline ball is the decision. And Kevin Walsh is ready to come back into the action, which should mean a rapid return to the sidelines for Sean O'Donnell. Yes, it'll be Sean O'Donnell who goes off. Galway blessed to have so many really strong, tall men around the middle of the field. This kick is gathered in here by Kieran Fitzgerald. Challenged by Ray McGee, needing support. They get it out as far as Shonald the player. Walsh is back in there again. Here he is. Oh, there's loads and loads of Meath players there. Darren Fay winning the race quite comfortably. Getting it away from Derek Savage. Right down the throats of the Galway backs once again. Ollie Murphy trying to get it in. Progress impeded. And Tomás Mannion is fouled as he was going to take the ball up that time inside the 13-metre line, and the referee having a word there with Evan Kelly. And Evan has got a yellow card.
Yes, I think Evan is annoyed actually that Ollie Murphy didn't get a free in that time. I think he considered that Ollie Murphy had been tripped and probably voiced his displeasure to the referee.
It's a very tense match. Oh, Richie Fahim needed assistance there, got it from Tomás Mannion. Such an assured performer, so steady. Kieran Fitzgerald, one of the top players this year. Tommy Joyce, deep as ever. Cormac Murphy after him, into the two-man inside forward line. Porrick Joyce getting possession, taking it by, but then losing it. Back towards Derek Savage it comes. Foul coming in, and it's a free in. Appeals by Richie Keeley. But the referee has decided it's a free in to Galway, and a really good point-scoring opportunity. Well, John McDermott has made his way back onto the goal line. He's the only one going in there to assist Cormac Sullivan. I think they're all fairly certain that this is going over the bar from Porrick Joyce. Tight enough angle, mind you. Should suit a left-footed kicker. And it certainly does. It's Galway who go back in front once more. Joyce has now kicked a third point. 8 points to 7.
Yes, indeed, and Galway are showing a way more urgency again in the second half than Meath are. Meath just seem very, very, tied to the ground today. There's a malaise there today that we haven't seen throughout the summer, and the influential players that they have are not making any impact on the game.
Ollie Murphy got to get some treatment there. I can't help wondering whether or not the worst thing that could have happened this Meath team was their huge victory over Kerry. Everybody then telling them they simply had to win this final. I know Sean Boyle would have tried to get their feet firmly on the ground, but that's bound to have been difficult. Galway combining well at the back. Nice play. There's a Galway player down injured, and it is Kieran Fitzgerald. And the umpires have called the referee across. Very shortly, by the way, Meath are about to make the choice that I think Colm O'Rourke was predicting. Graham Geraghty's been called aside by the referee. Could be another card here. Paddy Reynolds is being prepared. That's a yellow card for Graham Geraghty. So Paddy Reynolds will be coming in very, very shortly. His ability to scrap and fight hard will be so sorely needed. Well, there is the substitution. Paddy Reynolds on. Ollie Murphy forced out.
That's a huge blow to Meath, actually, if Ollie Murphy's gone off. He must have injured something very badly if he's been forced to take a complete break from the game.
He has to be injured. You wouldn't take him off at an All-Ireland final. He's such a valuable forward. So too is Derek Savage. Good work by Mark O'Reilly. Donlan playing it inside for Porrick Joyce. Good steadying effect here by Joyce. He's at his most expressive. He has kicked a fourth point. Galway are dominating and lead by 9 points to 7. All those chances, all those opportunities were bound to pay off. What is the response of Meath, who have a never-say-die approach about them in their football? We've only got 10 minutes gone in the second half. Paul Clancy dragged down through to Galway, wants to take it himself. Outside of the left boot for Derek Savage. Savage hasn't scored. O'Reilly's gone out to mark him once again. Savage makes a good angle, but can't direct it on target.
All the Meath players seem to be waiting around for something to happen. There's a huge transfer of responsibility from one to the other. Nobody is taking the game with the scruff of the neck. Trevor Giles has had a very quiet game, from whom you expect so much. And Ollie there getting treatment at the moment, seems to have something wrong with his hand, actually, or his arm.
They'll be hoping to get him back in as fast as possible. John McDermott freeing it there to Cormac Murphy. towards Ray McGee. Spills on here. McGee. Great block down there by Kieran Fitzgerald, playing wonderfully well at number 2. Here's Tomas Mannion. Galway, who lost to Kerry in last year's All-Ireland final. Don't want to make it 2 in a row. Graham Geraghty will have to give leadership up front, but this time he's kicked it well to the left. And that was a really good point scoring opportunity. This was the block down here moments ago by Kieran Fitzgerald, who's one of the players of the year.
Yes, he's made some difference since he's come into the Galway team after their defeat in the first round against Roscommon.
Galway, who might have beaten Kerry in the first match last year, well beaten in the replay. Joe Bergen figured in those matches. Tommy Joyce inevitably darting right through. Cormac Murphy's after him. It's quite a duel. Inside towards John Fallon, but one instead back there by Mark O'Reilly. Steady as you like. Nigel Crawford drops it down. Tommy Joyce can pop this one over. Good goal, good point scoring opportunity, but he has fluffed it really, really badly. It's Tommy Joyce's 18th championship match. To date, he scored 16 points. McDermott trying to win this Meath kick out, but again it's Kevin Walsh who takes it down. A really important figure in this Galway team. Walsh looking for Pádraig Joyce, again taking Darren Fay out of position. Fay, like Mick Lyons before him in the number 3 shirt, would love to be under the dropping ball. Galway are clever, they're doing well, and it's inside here, and Meath came so close to getting a second All-Ireland final goal, having been fed the pass inside by Derek Savage. Another let off for Meath. Well, you remember Declan Meehan's great goal last year against Kerry in the replay. Here he was popping up, and Sullivan did well, and it's going to be a 45.
That was such an opportunity for Declan Meehan, but great goalkeeping from Cormac Murphy. But there was a number of Galway players that time queuing up to get the ball. They're pulverising Meath everywhere except in the scoreboard.
Meath are about to bring in John Cullinan as well, goal scorer against Kerry. They need all their big guns. Michael Donlan saying to a referee that Paddy Reynolds has not back the requisite distance. Can he put it over from here? He's put it away to the right. Many mistakes been made all over the field. Richie Keeley's going off the Meath team, and it's John Cullinan who's coming on. John O'Mahony hoping that his side can hold on to their 2-point lead and indeed extend it. So Keeley off, and on comes John Cullinan from Drumree. McDermott going up there, almost Australian ruled style. Down to Trevor Giles. It skips in along. Lots of pressure, and it's gone wide. John Cullinan was coming in after that one, but a very composed-looking Gary Fahy, the Galway captain, had the situation under control. So a low enough scoring All-Ireland final. After 50 minutes of this match, Galway have made 24 scoring chances to Meath's 12. Meath need an awful lot more, but still only 2 in it. That's a terrible kick by Trevor Giles. Galway have a chance to win it back here. Dragged down here is Paul Clancy. And the referee is issuing the card, the red card. It's to Nigel Nestor, who was booked already. It's a second yellow card, and Meath are down to 14 players. Just over 15 minutes gone in the second half. Nigel Nestor is sent off, dragging down Paul Clancy here. He's done it once too often in this match, and the referee said, off you go. It was tough already. It's even tougher now on Meath. But how often in the past have 14 men beaten 15 in a major final? We've all seen it before. Now it's up to the men in green and gold. Galway putting up a ferocious challenge to them. Donald Curtis furious with the referee. And for his protestations, his team are penalised an extra 13 metres. This is now very, very kickable for Porrick Joyce. Gets a little pat on the head from his brother, Tommy Joyce, as if to say, wish you well. Put it over the bar. Edge of the exclusion zone. 30 metres out. Very, very light breeze at this stage, blowing over his right shoulder towards the left. It's an important one, and he has got it. He's put it over the bar. It's 5 points now for Porrick Joyce. And he's made it 10 points to 7.
Well, there's a position Meath have been in often, like down to 14 men with 15 or 20 minutes to go. And I certainly think in this case, the ultimate test can put up to them. That was a tremendous block by Michael Donlan, and Darren Fay with that clearance.
So Meath having to play the remaining minutes of this match with 14. They'll have played the last 20 by the time we get to the 70 with one man less. That was Porrick Joyce coming across there. Paddy Reynolds kicking it back in. Riley. Darren Fay. Towards John McDermott, but it's gathered instead by Kevin Walsh of Galway. Holding up the play. Ja Fallon. Back to Walsh. Good ball to Porrick Joyce. It's a clever ball. It was right in front of him. Gave him a decent chance. This on his right side. And he has kicked this one. And he's put it over. 6 points for Joyce. Showing that he's equally accomplished on his right-hand side. But I think it was the quality of the passing that made it all happen.
Yes, a quick, crisp pass from Kevin Walsh into Porrick Joyce, who incidentally has been marked by Mark Riley, which surprises me. Darren Fay had a good game on him in the first half, but this time with his right foot scores a very good point. He's having a marvellous game in the second half from play.
He's had 11 shots at the target. He's scored 6 times. Evan Kelly for a Meath side with only 6 points to their credit, following their fascinating win in the semi-final against the defending champions Kerry. Cormac Murphy up among the attackers. Back once again towards Paddy Reynolds inside here. Nigel Crawford, great block down. Still the opportunities for Trevor Giles, and Giles has kicked it wide. And I think an awful lot of the Galway followers here right now, with just over 16 minutes to play, are probably thinking Meath don't have it in them this afternoon. This was Nigel Crawford, and that was where it was blocked down really well, and Kevin Walsh back there helping out.
Yes, but there are so many Meath players off colour today. It's amazing, like for an All-Ireland final. I think too many of them maybe believe the hype and what was spoken about, arising from the victory against Kerry.
Cormac Murphy challenging for this one. It reaches Paddy Reynolds. Nicely taken down by Sean O'Dwyer. Is he to win another All-Ireland medal? Early stages yet as Kieran Fitzgerald takes it forward. Meehan coming onto it. The attack-conscious number 5, Derek Savage. Plenty of players waiting for it to come their way. Porrick Joyce again on his right-hand side by Reynolds this time, by John McDermott, and over the bar. It's an excellent spell for Galway. And Porrick Joyce is coming good in the second half. A little tentative in the first. He's finding his confidence, he's finding the target. And he's found his best form. It's 12 points to 7.
Yes, a lovely piece of interplay again, and a great finish with his right foot by Porrick Joyce, having a super second half.
Graham Geraghty. Remember, it's a Meath team missing the injured Ollie Murphy. Into Paddy Reynolds. Knocking it in well. And that is kicked over the bar by the substitute, John Cullinan. His first chance, his first score. It's a vital one. It means there are only 4 between them. And we've talked so often in the build-up to this, in many discussion places everywhere and anywhere, about Meath's capacity to get goals. This man got a goal the last day. Today, it's a point. One decent chance for Sean Boylan's team, and you never know what might happen. We've seen Galway now miss 2 goals.
Yes, but the main goal-a-door, so to speak, on the Meath team is on the bench at the moment and don't look to have it in them today to score a goal. But again, maybe they're famous last words.
Declan Meehan pursued by Graham Geraghty. Great pace, lovely control, nice action. Down to Savage. Inside to Paul Clancy. Held off the challenge well. Good pass, Porrick Joyce at the receiving end. And the umpires look and decide it's another one for Porrick Joyce. It's his 8th of the match. It's some display now by this wonderfully talented footballer. It's 13 points to 8. Cormac Murphy is about to be replaced, but first let's look at this again. And if you're watching it in Ayr Square or any part of Galway, you'll revel in this.
Well, he's absolutely oozing class and authority at the moment. He's had some tour de force over the last 10 minutes or so. Tremendous display, but again, I said, it's surprising that Darren Fay isn't picking him up.
Niall Kelly's in, Cormac Murphy is off. Wasn't necessarily Cormac Murphy's type of game. Tommy Joyce just went everywhere and anywhere, bar into the dressing rooms. It's won back by Paddy Reynolds. He'll have been disappointed enough not to have started this match. Good ball down. Here it comes again. John McDermott's around, and the referee's giving a penalty. It's a penalty to Meath. Kevin Walsh being spoken to by the referee, and Michael Collins was emphatic.
Yes, that was a very cheeky and perceptive pass by Graham Geraghty into John McDermott that time, and probably he made the most of it in earning the penalty, but I think it was a correct decision by the referee.
The point is, Meath have so many leaders. They've only got a short amount of time to go, about 12 minutes, but they're well capable. Trevor Giles is going to kick this. Crucial. 5 points between the teams. Maximum concentration. Against him, Alan Kane. .23.5 minutes into the second half. This to give Meath some real hope. Giles has put it wide. Oh, an amazing miss. They will feel it's their day. Surely after that.
Well, it sums up his day for them. Those days simply nothing goes right for you, and maybe this is one of those days for Trevor. Remember in 1996 he scored the goal against Mayo, down in the same goals. This time just a little cheeky pass from Geraghty. And okay, 2 or 3 of them went around, but John certainly did a little bit of a dive there. Got the penalty but missed it, and maybe there was justice in that.
It's a bad miss. Kane kicking deep to midfield. McDermott rising again. They feel they still have a chance. Lost by hand trainer. Here comes Paul Clancy. Nice solo, good control. It might have been a goal at the other end. It's a point for Galway. It's looking like their day. 10 minutes still to go. Everything is going right for Galway, but then they have been the more dominant force. They've created so many opportunities, a total of 29 chances so far, and they've taken 14. Sean Boylan must be bemused. O'Mahony, composed. At least he looks like he is. Sure he's not. Mark O'Reilly coming out to deny Paul Clancy on this occasion. They work it out here. Nigel Crawford. And that was Derek Savage going in, but committing the foul. They want to get it ahead quickly. Niall Kelly. Big one in. Evan Kelly. They lose it again, Meath. Everything is going nicely for Galway. They may have lost the hurling final. They may have lost the minor hurling final. Are they to win the football? Ja Fallon. contesting furiously down there with Donald Curtis, a little too furiously. Quick look up to the gods, but it's a free to Meath. Late challenge there by Pádraig Joyce on Mark O'Reilly. Ray McGee now, but he's very, very deep. Michael Donlan pursuing him. They go for the big one from Darren Fay. They need a goal here. But again, good defending by Galway, and it's Richie Fahy who has it. Brother Gary calling for it, and they work it out to Tomas Mannion. About 9 minutes left. Great burst ahead. Oh, it was Declan Meehan who was trying to knock that ball invitingly inside in towards Derek Savage, but it's going to be a line ball for the tribesmen.
Yes, and any time we have an attack now, they're resorting to just pumping the ball hopefully into the Galway defence, but who are coping admirably with anything that's coming in. And Kieran Fitzgerald seems to be the extra man, doing very well actually with any ball that's there. And Tommy Joyce also is manning position in front of his full back line.
Pádraig Joyce will kick this. Score of 8 points in this final, and that one has gone astray. We're facing the reality now, Martin, that Meath don't just need one goal, they frankly need two.
They need two, but there's nobody at the moment seems to be on top of his game to actually get those goals. And then, you know, all through the game, they're having difficulty in getting primary possession around the middle of the park.
Galway have been the better team. Kevin Walsh here, laying it off beautifully. Bergen has support. Does he need it? Well, he composed himself, but you can see even at this stage in the game, when you'd expect Meath to be putting in the big strong finish, it's actually Galway who are still continuing to dominate and to threaten the Meath goal.
Yes, and what's unusual actually is the body language. A lot of the Meath players out there, the heads seem to have dropped. Nobody seems to be able to provide the leadership today. It's just one of those days maybe that can happen in a team, and I'd say an awful lot of it is because of what happened in the semi-final against Kerry. Too many of them, I think, thought they would only to come up here today and accept the cup.
It certainly gave John O'Mahony a great incentive to wind up his players. He's done that. Mr. Perfection. Darren Fay challenged by Jar Fallon. Still the eager Beaver Galway players, and they managed to win a free in, and the referee is calling aside Donald Curtis on this occasion. He's been ticked earlier on, so this is probably going to be another yellow card. It is. I can't help feeling, probably said it already, but the worst thing that could have happened this Meath team was to have trounced Kerry.
Oh yeah, very much so. Because certainly if you come into a game where your attitude isn't right, and when you see a team having a way more urgency than you, it's very hard to actually go and, you know, redirect yourself halfway through a game. You must be right beforehand, or else it's impossible to change course halfway through.
So Curtis, the guilty party there, as we saw in reprise, and it's now Pádraig Joyce once again. His confidence has to be sky high. His team leading by 6 points. Just over 6 minutes remaining. He has stretched it even more. Galway lead by 7. Surely now they cannot lose this final. It will be the greatest comeback ever by any Meath team if they get back, even within a point or two. 15 points to 8. Well, some of the Meath fans, I think, have decided that it is all over. There's a push on Darren Fay by Pádraig Joyce. Some of them leaving, as you can see in the background. Alan Kearns there. He'll be disappointed not to have started the match, but is he to win an All-Ireland medal? The battle for Sam continues. Evan Kelly, jinking run inside to Ray McGee. Fed ahead, but it was a real hopeful punch ahead, hoping that somebody might profit. Nobody did. It's Michael Donlan, great footballer and runner out of midfield. They just want him to hold it up. Derek Savage can't. Jar Fallon can. Still support right and left of him. He's tripped. Meath look a very tired and almost dispirited team. Foul there was by Donald Curtis. Meath down to 14 players since the 15th minute of the second half. Nigel Nestor sent off. Still they check the watches. I make it 4 minutes to go, plus perhaps a little bit of stoppage time. Looking good for John O'Mahony. Boric Joyce belting this one, but he's belted it away to the right. That is now a total of 13 wides for Galway against 7 for Meath. But Galway have been much the more dominant factor.
Yes, and the stretch credibility to expect Meath to play as well today as they played against Kerry the last day, but certainly none of it is, expected them to be as quiet and to be as off colour as they were.
They've only scored 8 points. Missed a penalty. Declan Meehan, he's in again. Dupre is alongside him. Wisely, I think he put it over the bar. That's his first point. But it's interesting that Sean Dupre was backing him up just in case a pass came his way, and a goal there, we might as well have blown the whistle.
Yes, and we said before the game that if the Galway half-back line was dominant, Galway would win it, and they've been outstanding throughout, as they've had so many other lines in the team. But that time either Sean or Declan Meehan, who eventually scored it, could have from the range.
It's Galway by double scores. Trevor Giles. Good play back there by Galway's Tommy Joyce, helping out his back line. Now they just need to hold it, maintain their position of dominance, and surely the cup is theirs. This is Galway's 8th match in the championship. They're going for their 9th All-Ireland title. They have one more than Meath. Evan Kelly easily going by the challenge of Sean Dupre. Michael Donlan's back goal side as well. They've got to go for a goal here, Meath. Nigel Crawford partly blocked down by Joe Bergen. It's inside there. And the final shot is by Hank Traynor. Alan Kane coming, collecting, looking convincing. Kieran Fitzgerald out towards Paul Clancy. Dragged down. Utter frustration from Meath. 2 minutes left.
Well, for a team whose aspirations were in ashes last June after the defeat against Roscommon, this has been some performance by both the Galway team and their management to get back to this level. It's been a super performance from them, and a wonderful summer coming through the qualifiers to come on and win this All-Ireland.
Yes, it's Galway who are going to be the first team ever to have lost a provincial championship match, lost at the semi-finals, to come back and win the All-Ireland, and Meath with only 2 points in this second half. A really disappointing display by the Royals on this occasion. This is John Cullen on. There'll be 2 extra minutes played. Meath need about 22. Hank Traynor brushed aside, and Galway stand defiant back in their own back line. Galway have made 34 scoring chances, Meath 16. It's one very telling statistic. Galway have been vastly superior. Towards Savage, who is holding back Mark O'Reilly. Another change by Meath about to be made. Ray McGee is going off, and Adrian Kenny will come in to sample the All-Ireland final atmosphere. Belted in by Graham Geraghty, but you could see from his demeanour as he was hitting that one in, he knows the game is up. We are now almost into time added on for injuries. We are now. There are 2 minutes to go. Galway are poised to win the Sam Maguire Cup. And apart from one blood substitution, Galway did not use a sub throughout this match. They've been happy with the 15. Why not? Heroes all. They've had a cohesiveness and a togetherness which has been most impressive. Derek Savage. Boric Joyce for Jar Fallon. Should be Cormac Sullivan's, but it's in the sunshine and he does well. I believe Alan Kearns might be given a very, very late run. Here comes John Cullen on once again. But Galway using their numerical superiority. They've had that extra man in defence. I gather for the last minute of this match, Joe Bergen is the one who'll make way, and Alan Kearns will come in. That way he will have won his All-Ireland football medal on the field. John O'Mahony about to make the late change. So Joe Bergen off, no fault of Joe Bergen's. He played really well, they all played well. In fact, you could take off anybody right now.
Well, indeed, it's nice to see a bit of sentiment in sport, and I'm delighted John O'Mahony gave Alan Kearns a run here, because he'd been so effective for them in so many games during the summer that it's great that he got on the field for an All-Ireland final to win his All-Ireland medal.
Kieran Comer is coming on as well, and Tommy Joyce going off. They have it won. Only a matter of seconds now. Michael Donlan breaking it down. Jinking his way in there was the substitute Alan Kearns. Referee awarding the free. It's quite a tired-looking Meath team this afternoon. They've looked leaden-footed for most of the 70 minutes. Never really seemed to have it. Boric Joyce, it's only shooting practice at this stage. He has kicked 10 points in this All-Ireland football final. It is all over, and Galway are the Bank of Ireland All-Ireland football champions for 2001. A game without any goals. Galway had a couple of chances. Meath had a penalty. Meath also lost Nigel Nestor with 20 minutes of the match remaining. But in spite of all of that, there was one team really up for it today, and they were the men from the West, the first ever side to be beaten in a provincial championship match, to go on and lift the Sam Maguire Cup. It's congratulations all around, but now it's the turn of Gary Fahy, the Galway captain, their number 3, to come and take the cup. The Sam Maguire Cup is going to Galway. It's the county's 9th All-Ireland title. They're 3rd in the league, as it were, behind Kerry and Dublin. They are the champions for 2001. Everybody wanting a piece of the action.